The opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of this station. All claims made and opinions expressed are the sole responsibility of the program's producers.
And good morning, one and all. You are listening to the Wealth Guardian Show. My name is Doug Ray, and I am your host for the next hour. My counterparts, Brian Geiser and Paul Taylor, are not here today, so you just got me. Brian called me on the way in this morning, and unfortunately last night he came down with severe stomach aches. He thinks he might have an ulcer, so good gracious, we're hoping and praying for Brian to recover quickly. And Paul is still recovering from his Nicaraguan mission trip. So I'm it today, and we are guarding your retirement from market losses with safe money strategies. This is reminds me of the old days back when I did this program all by myself. So, folks, I may need your help today. You can call in with your questions, your concerns, or your comments, and that number here directly into the studio is area code 336-777-1600. Now, for you folks who listen to us in Charlotte on WFNZ AM 610, I just want to tell you, you are listening to a tape-delayed broadcast, so we are unfortunately not live there in Charlotte. We do try to simulcast anywhere we can for a live broadcast, but right now it's just the schedule on WFNZ doesn't permit that. Hopefully in the future we can tie you guys into our live broadcast as well. But also, if you want to talk to us about your own personal situation, you folks in Charlotte, you can call this number, and everybody else too, because we have live operators there 24/7. That number is 800-515-2919. 800-515-2919. Call that number, give them your contact information, and one of us will be calling you next week to talk about your situation. Or you may just want to set an appointment to come in and sit down and speak with us. I'll tell you, I've had a lot of folks calling to come in for appointments, given what's occurred in the markets the last few weeks. In fact, I've got 2 appointments right after this show today. So the number is busy. Well, even though I'm by myself today, I do think I've got a good show for you, and I think we've got quite a bit to take a look at. We're going to do the market review as normal. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to give you guys a stock tip here later on in the show, so make sure you stay tuned for this whole show. It's not necessarily a stock tip. In other words, I'm not going to tell you what stock to buy, but I'm going to give you something that I've studied this on the charts now. It goes back 25 years. It's got an 83% accuracy rate. I've told my classes about this phenomena, and we're getting into the season where it works. So you want to stay tuned for this little tip, because historically when it works, it's an easy 20% return in just a couple months. So stay tuned for that. Also, I want to announce for you folks listening to us on WXIT up in the high country, in the Boone and the Blowing Rock area, we're going to be up there come Saturday, September the 10th, from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I'll be holding a lunch workshop at the Canyons Restaurant in Blowing Rock. Mark that on your calendars. That is Saturday, September the 10th, from 11:30 to 1:30. We're going to be talking about exit strategies. We're going to be talking about the 50-50 strategy as developed by Dr. Charles Schaap. We'll bring in the 3-bucket strategy, the rule of 100. I'll tell you folks how to ensure your retirement, and then we'll have just general open discussion about the market conditions and the outlook going forward for the market and the economy and so forth. So again, it's Saturday, September the 10th, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Canyons Restaurant. And you can call the same 800 number to reserve your seats. You need to reserve your seats. It's 800-515-2919. Now, folks, I will charge you a $5 cover charge, but that's to help defray the cost of the workbook I'm going to give you and also your lunch. So it's 800-515-2919. Well, before I get any further into this show, let me go ahead and thank all of our troops for their service. It's been a difficult week for them. We lost some brave guys in Afghanistan. SEAL Team 6 lost about 25 folks, and it just reminds us of how tough the job is and how much they put on the line for us every day. So, God bless and Godspeed. All right, let's talk about this market and where we are with this thing. For the week, the Dow was down 1.5%, and for the year it's down 2.6%. The S&P down 1.7%, and year-to-date it's down 6.3%. NASDAQ for the week was down just under 1%, and for the year it's down just about 5.5%. We, interestingly this week, we actually posted 2 positive trading days in a row. And that's interesting because that hasn't been done since the first week in July. Folks, I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but we have had a pretty severe correction here. It looks to me like, we're trying to bottom this thing out here. We've had multiple 100-point moves all week long, up 500 one day, down 500 the next day. It's just been volatile as it can be, and I think that's just the word for this market. Volatility is back with a vengeance. Last week I gave you a downside target on the Dow using head and shoulders pattern, and I said anywhere between 10,200 and 10,700 on the Dow, and this past Tuesday the intraday low was 10,604. Also on Monday, we had one of those FI-MATE turn dates that I've talked to you folks about. So that just lends more strength to my argument that I think that we are trying to make a short-term bottom in this thing. And it'll probably be a bottom that corrects this downside move from the 1st of July. If that's the case, then here's some targets for this upside correction or rally, however you want to term it, that is to come. If we take the first target and we use a Fibonacci retracement of 31.8%, we get a Dow target of 11,326. Then the second target is a 50% retracement. That brings us to 11,740. And then the third target is of a 61.8% retracement. That brings us right up to 12,000 on the Dow. It's possible for this market to make it back to that May high this year. I really don't think that's going to happen given the damage that we've had in this corrective phase. I think that one of these targets I just read to you probably is what's likely. Now, having said that, it is so volatile right now, anything can happen. Next week, this thing could turn around and go back down, or it could shoot another 500 points higher. I mean, it's just you've got to be able to watch the markets and trade accordingly. All right, gang, that brings us to the end of the first segment, and we'll be back for more Wealth Guardians in just a moment.